How much about what you learned through your career in the military has transferred over to being a business owner?
I would say that's a good question. I would say as far as like obviously you don't really learn a lot about business through that training, but again, learning more about how you can adapt to things and learning about how you can properly face challenges or work around challenges or go over obstacles. I think that's what really shines coming from a background like that is you come from an environment where you're working with a team. So obviously, like, I think that's what's so glorifying about people from any type of like military or mainly special operations, special forces background is you grow in a team unit. So when it comes to the workforce, like being able to work well with others is a very key component that you learn early on in your military career. But also just the perseverance. I mean, obviously, if you can endure things like buds, and you're faced with a different type of obstacle out in the business world or market, and it puts a lot of things in perspective to what you can accomplish. And I think that's what is really again, what really is like glorifying about that type of community and background is you've already experienced some of the worst things in life. So moving forward in different aspects is, there are different challenges, but, I feel like there's a lot of self-confidence and belief that comes with that to kind of know that you'd be able to step through that.
Got it. Okay. And how old were you when you went in?
20.
Got it. So you were still
Yeah.
young. I mean, I can only imagine myself when I was 20 being put through something like that. It's just, there's so much that has to come from that you take over.
It was honestly like military was never my first choice in life. I went to college after high school, and college just wasn't for me. And this was I graduated in 2003, so that was still a point in time where you needed a degree to get somewhere in life. So for me, it's like, well, I'm probably not going to finish college. What else? I don't really have anything to fall back on. And so military was kind of I wouldn't say something I was forced to do, but it seemed like my only option. And at the time, I had a good friend of mine from high school who enlisted right after graduation, and I was able to talk to him about his experience in the military, which he wasn't in that same community, but he was able to kind of give me his insight on what military life was like for him. And so after that, I hit the recruiters' offices, and every branch just kind of was like, hey, what's the hardest thing you got? And I didn't know. I was stupid. I didn't know what I didn't know what buds was when I went in. I had no idea what I was getting into. So just doing my research and learning more about what everyone kind of was spitting at me and offering, buds seemed like the way to go. So I ended up getting a buds contract before I enlisted, meaning I was guaranteed a slot. So I still had to go to boot camp. I still had to go to an A school to get a Navy rating, because you needed one back then to go to buds. You don't anymore. But so I still had to get like what my job was going to be in the Navy, just in case I didn't make it through buds. I still had my rate, and then I could go to the fleet and start my career there. But yeah, I really didn't have an idea of what I was getting into, and which is kind of funny. Maybe I was better off for it because I kind of went in blind and kind of just clueless and young and stupid. So
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was, again, I wouldn't change it for the world, but it was definitely not the outlook or outcome that I had in mind when I was, growing up in my teenage years.